Missing in Missouri is an investigative podcast dedicated to finding as much information as we can in missing person cases and ultimately find the truth. So for this episode, what you guys are going to be hearing is an interview that Zach did with Ellen Dotson, who is an aunt to Dana.
Yeah, a very close aunt. She knew Dana when she was younger. She watched her grow up. She helped watch her children. She talked to her almost every day.
They had a really good relationship.
Very good relationship. And so this interview is very powerful. And it opens up a lot of things that I never thought of. And she gives a lot of information that honestly just takes us a lot deeper down the rabbit hole.
Hello?
Yes, is this Ellen?
Yes, it is.
Hi, I'm Zach.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you today?
I'm okay.
Okay, I hope I'm not bothering you at all.
Oh, no. You're fine.
Okay. Well, as I said before, it's my wife and I. We're doing some research on Dana, and we're looking to get stories about her and just like any information you got on her, actually.
Okay.
And I thought maybe you could talk about her, and I'll just ask questions
That's fine.
whenever I got one, if that's all right.
Okay.
And is it okay if I record this?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, and then we're actually going to put it on a podcast. Would that be okay with you too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have been trying to get anybody to pay attention because it has been almost 11 years that Dana's been missing.
Yeah, I saw it was October 4th of 2008.
Yes.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine the way you must feel.
My heart says she's still here, but my mind's saying after 11 years she's not. Dana is the type of mother that would never leave her kids. Never. Every time you see Dana, you've seen her two kids. They were attached to her hip. Literally. Seriously. She had one on each side.
And they were 4 and 2 when she went missing?
Yes.
Okay. I had read and found out that Dana had went from foster home to foster home when she was younger.
Yes, she did.
Now, when did you first meet her?
When I first met Dana, it's when she was with my nephew, which was, oh gosh, it's been a long time ago. It's been a long time. I've known Dana since before she had her kids.
Wow. So about how old was she, you think?
Gosh. You're asking me to remember things.
I'm sorry. I'm not meaning to try and put you on the spot.
No. I want to say she was in her teenage years.
Wow. What kind of teenager was she? Like,
she was really good. She never got in trouble. Never got in trouble.
wow. Now, was she a good student? Like,
Yes.
Okay.
Teachers always praised. They wish they had more like her. Which I guess a good thing.
That is a good thing. That's a good thing. Yes. What kind of stuff did she like to do? Like hobbies and such.
When she had her kids, that's it. Everything she did was her kids. She used to come over with the kids, and we'd sit and talk, but never did I see her without the kids after she had them.
Now, when let's I guess move up to the first few days after she went missing. What was that like going through your mind and stuff like that?
Well, I knew it wasn't like her to disappear on her own. I knew that something had happened to her. I knew that somebody had her somewhere. Otherwise, she would have been right back home. Or she would have tried to call me if she had a way to call me. Because I'm the one she came to when she had problems.
So you had a really good relationship with her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm really sorry. Sorry you're going through that. You're going through all of this. It has to be difficult.
There's not a day that she's not on my mind.
Did Dana have a lot of friends?
No.
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 Did Dana have any kind of addiction problems at all?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Dana was the type that it surprised me when she said she was going out for her birthday. Dana never went anywhere without the kids. So it was a surprise when she said she was going out for a few hours. Yeah, it was a big shock. And then to find out, that she has to babysit her to stay, it's like, this isn't Dana. What, it made me realize, made me think, okay, exactly what's going on and who's telling her what, because Dana would have never left her kids, not even overnight, unless they were with me. So it just,
Things just didn't add up.
No, it didn't.
Okay. Would you say the police did a fair job?
No. Be honest with you, no. The reason why I'm saying this, okay,
Yes.
is because of the Dotson last name. They have never liked or tried to help any Dotson in that town whatsoever. I had one cop tell me when I first got with my husband that if I was his daughter, I would have never married a Dotson.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's why I say no. I don't feel at all.
Yeah, we've been doing quite a bit of research, and we've seen posts and people tell us not to trust the police or lawyers or anybody, any kind of authority figure down there, or up there, I should say.
That's right. I don't trust them. We did so many searches on our own without. It's like we said, well, if you want to just do it, just do it. We can't do nothing. Yeah, they could have. They could have helped us search, but not one of them did. We did numerous searches. Every time we got a lead, we were right there. The police weren't. And that's like a guy that we were told that possibly involved in Dana's disappearance. The cops wouldn't even talk to him because he is a snitch for them.
Is this
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went around writing detail by detail of the same statement I got from another person that happened.
And what was that?
The statement I got, which is a girl that I know, which actually was around. Dana went to this girl's house. I'm not going to mention no names, okay?
Okay, that's fine.
And Dana had a couple drinks, which, it was her birthday. That was no big deal. And another guy shot Dana up with dope and killed her. And they rolled her up in the carpet and threw her like a piece of trash on the side of the road. We searched everywhere that we could think of. We even searched in ponds, new things that had been dug up like graves and stuff. We everywhere.
That had to be horrendous.
It still breaks my heart thinking about it.
Yeah.
Knowing that, possibility she could be somewhere and rolled up in carpet. But we can't get any of them to talk because they're all informants for the police department. And the police won't even go talk to them. They never did. Even when I took them the signed statement from this girl, she wrote word for word. They said, "Oh, we don't believe her." They would not even go check it out.
Just like that, huh?
Yeah. They said, "Well, she'd gotten in trouble once. So what? Nobody is perfect."
Yeah. And that doesn't take away from what she's saying.
No.
If nothing else, they should have checked that out.
Like I told them, I can even have her come down here. You guys can talk to her face to face. No, that's okay. We're not going to believe what she says because she's been in trouble once. So what? And it really irritated me. I wanted to get a police officer, and I'm not that type of person.
That's very frustrating.
It's like, you guys aren't going to do nothing? No. It's like, no. Then I'm going to keep investigating.
Was it just one person that this woman implicated?
Oh, no.
No? Okay.
There were 5 people in this house. And I talked to all 5 people and nobody would say a word.
Wow.
It was their word against this girl that came to me.
So you actually confronted them?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, okay.
Well, we don't know what you're talking about. And the sad part about it is this house had a new carpet where the one was at that I know because I'd been in this house before.
Wow.
You know how frustrating that is to know that the cops would not even talk to these people, and to know these people, you can tell when somebody is lying to you face to face. I could just tell that they were all lying to me when I went and confronted them.
I can't even imagine how that would be. Wow. Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm trying to think. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine.
I have been trying to get a hold of quite a few people, and I even went on to the Dana Bruce tribute page.
Yeah.
And it seems like a lot of I've gotten the tribute page. They don't want to have anything to do with this.
No, because that is due to the Sedalia Police Department.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
They want us. They put a stop to us posting anything on Dana's page. I don't know how they have done it, but they have done it. And they have admitted to putting a stop to any updates about Dana on there, unless they put it on there.
Wow. Okay.
That's very frustrating also.
How have the last, I guess, 10 years, I know her children, and I'm not going to get too deep with her children because I want to leave them out of this, but I guess just a small update about them, that has to be incredibly difficult.
They miss their mama very much. They don't know exactly how to feel, just that they know that mom should be there, mom's not. And honestly, nobody's doing anything to find their mama. And like I keep telling them, I'm doing what I can. I've contacted Unsolved Mysteries to try and get her picture and stuff back on. I've contacted missing.org to try and get her picture back on, and I'm having no luck.
Okay. My wife and I are doing a podcast, and we focus on people missing strictly in Missouri.
Okay.
And I actually had found Dana's case on the Missouri Highway Patrol website.
Yeah.
Because her birthday is in July, and I'm a July baby too.
Yeah, she just had a birthday.
Yeah, and I guess I wanted that personal connection, and I saw her picture, and I was like, okay, and then I started doing research about it, and we're out here in St. Louis.
Okay.
And I've lived in Missouri my whole life, and I had never heard about it.
Yeah.
And it was really frustrating. And so started doing research with it. And we've gotten a lot of stuff, and we're actually probably gonna have like a whole season about Dana.
Okay. And see, one of the things that I don't understand, okay, where Dana went, which was at the time called Malone's, which was a bar that Dana went to, they have cameras, but just mysteriously that night the cameras weren't working. And it's so weird that the next night, down at the same place, the cameras still weren't working, and a female got raped in the bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
And the owner, which was Dave Malone, he said, I don't know why the cameras weren't working. I told him, apparently you didn't have them turned on like you were supposed to. I said, and we could have seen the type of vehicle, who she was with, everything. He wasn't happy with me, but I didn't care.
I don't blame you at all. I really don't.
I made a lot of people mad at me at different places the first few days because I was so frustrated with people. And they still get upset with me, but I don't care. My niece is important to me.
Absolutely.
I want to know for sure whether she's still here or if she's gone. And if she's gone, I want to know so we can have closure.
Absolutely.
And I'm sorry I'm going to say this, but I hope whoever the SOBs are rot in hell when I find out who had anything to do with her disappearance. I'm sorry, but that's just the way I feel.
You do not have to apologize to me. The only kind of people that know what you're going through is the people that's gone through this before or are still going through it, and I've never gone through this. So there's no judgment here at all.
Thank you.
Would you be okay if we have other questions for me to call you or text you again?
Yes, that is fine. This is my number. I am available anytime when it comes to Dana.
Okay, all right.
Anytime.
I just want to let you know, me and my wife both, we're going to do everything we possibly can to bring as much attention to Dana's disappearance as we can.
I honestly appreciate it. It means a lot because just one person, people just don't pay attention. It's just one person trying to get attention to this. Now, you guys do know that Dana was blind in one eye, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And that she had a teddy bear tattoo.
Teddy bear
tattoo with her son's name.
Yep. But the one thing that I actually noticed on the highway patrol flyer, they misspelled the tattoo.
Yep.
In the details, and I was like, it's never been fixed.
I know.
And it's small details like that can make a difference.
I know. And they have been told about it.
Oh, unbelievable.
And that's why I'm saying we are getting no help from law enforcement, period.
Okay.
It's like they don't care what we're going through or any details that we can bring to them. It tears me up. It really does. Knowing that, the only way we're going to solve this is if we do this on our own without involving any more law enforcement.
Yeah.
And like I said, Lucy, I would like to get a hold of a few people myself and just knock the living crap out of them until they tell me
actually in federal prison right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hope he rots.
Yeah, his release date is the September of 2023. So.
Be honest with you, I wish he'd never get out. Because I know in my heart, not just by what I've been told, but in my heart, from what he has told me, he had a lot to do with Dana's disappearance. He has told me numerous times exactly what happened to Dana. And like I said, no one would know unless they were there.
Yeah. Is that something you'd want to share? Like, what?
That's fine.
What did he say?
He told me that they shot Dana up with dope, they rolled her up in a carpet, and threw her on the side of the road to die. I told him, you could have taken her to the hospital and dropped her off. At least she'd still be alive. They didn't want to get in trouble, is what he told me. Honestly, I wish he'd rot. I'm sorry, but I do.
Don't apologize. You have nothing to apologize for.
You know, telling me face to face, something like that, and then denying it, to somebody else. But he come to my work and told me this. I even had it on camera, because where I worked we had a camera with video and sound. And the police wouldn't even listen to it because it involved. Because I called him because I wanted him out of where I worked at. Because he was causing problems with other customers.
Yeah.
But they would not even listen to what I had to say. So I'm saying whatever you do not trust the Sedalia Police Department. I'm sorry, but no, I don't.
Oh, absolutely not. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day.
No, I don't mind, because like I said, when it comes to Dana, I will tell anybody, I will tell anybody about Dana.
Okay. I will keep looking into this, and I'm sure I will have tons of questions.
That's fine.
And I will text you and call you with any updates if I find out anything new.
Okay, I really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
No problem. Do you have any questions for me or anything?
No, thank you. And I would really like to thank you and your wife for doing this.
It is.
It means a lot.
Well, we really appreciate that. So, and you have a good day, okay?
You too. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow, that was really powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, something that I found interesting that she said was that Malone's, their security footage wasn't, like, their cameras weren't turned on that night or the night after.
When the girl got raped in the bathroom. It's crazy. And then another thing that I thought was interesting was when she said that the police, she felt, wasn't doing enough because Dana is associated with the Dotson family.
Yes, and whenever she said that what the police officer said to her about if you were my daughter, you wouldn't be marrying a Dotson.
It's crazy. It really is. So I'm not going to put blame on the police, but it is something that needs to be looked at. And like I told you, this is a very powerful interview. There's a lot of claims and a lot of things said, but I think they all deserve to be looked into, and that's what we're going to do. So that's why when we were talking about it, I was like, you'll never believe how deep in the rabbit hole we're going.
I honestly, listening to it for the first time, I was shocked. There was so much that I had so many questions, and my mind was racing, and it was like, where do you start?
Absolutely. I mean, that's how I felt when I was interviewing her, and it's just everybody that we have interviewed, they've all been powerful. I would say that they've all touched me in a certain way, But talking with her was really powerful. I mean, because this is a woman that since day one has never stopped trying to find her.
And hasn't given up.
Hasn't given up. Has gone in and talked to the police, asked them what new leads, what directions are they going. Has done everything. And was even willing to talk with us. That right there, it's just amazing. She has never given up. And she, as you've heard her say, she's never going to until they get, peace.
I think something that I found really powerful was whenever she was discussing this person who came in to her work and told her, I did this. This is what happened. And back then I guess because I don't realize how many stores have that now, or even back then, cameras that pick up audio too. And I think that was really powerful that, she said she told the police about it, but that to her knowledge, they didn't get a copy of it, they didn't look at it. That would be something to me that the police would go and do if they are trying to find where this person is, where Dana is. And that, the reasoning for that is because he's an informant.
Yeah, I mean, it would be really disheartening to me to think the police didn't go there and do their due diligence with looking at the camera, listening to the audio, even asking other people questions and stuff like that. But and we don't know yet because we haven't yet talked to the police. Not yet. But if they didn't do all that, I mean, these are leads that you have to follow up on. I mean, this is something that somebody made a claim, and I understand not all claims are true.
But this is not the first time that you and I have heard this. This is the third time, actually, that we have heard this same story about this same person doing essentially the same thing. And to me, that's three separate people who aren't necessarily connected.
No, not at all. And you're right. But because I asked them some of those questions, I was like, well, why do you think they haven't? And, a lot of them said, well, because he's an informant or this and that. But, there's hearsay. Well, yeah, but how many people have to come forward to say this person said this before the police go to him and say, you're making these claims? If you're making these claims, we need to have a conversation.
Exactly. And I think what's interesting for me, and what really, I guess because I'm very, this is what happened, then this is what should happen next. When you have someone like going to 3 different people saying, I did this happened, this is where she is, or this is roundabout where she is, that to me is huge. It'd be different if it was one person saying it. It'd be different if it was 2 people saying it. But to our knowledge, we have 3 different people telling us that this is what happened. And I guess it's just because I'm so passionate about wanting to find Dana, wanting to find what happened to her, and wanting everything. I just want everybody to be at peace, and I want her to be at peace, because as long as nobody knows what happened, officially nobody knows what happened, she's not going to be at peace, and her family isn't going to be at peace.
You're right, but to add something to all that, you have to think this person still has a family down there. People are scared to talk about it. I interviewed one person, and you know them too, that desperately told us, do not mention my name. I don't want any part of being a part of the podcast or anything like that, but here, I'm going to tell you my story to help you find more information, but I don't want you to use anything that I say on the record. They were very adamant about it because they are scared, because they said, there's still people there that,
are dangerous,
for lack of a better word. And when you hear these type of stories and they tell you what supposedly happened to this person, and you're hearing it, you don't know what to believe, because it's it's like a movie. You're like, oh my.
It's like you're watching an episode of Law and Order.
Yeah, and you're like, this doesn't happen in the real world. I'm not sitting here listening to this person tell me they did this to her, they put her here, this is how they did it, and they went on about their lives. You don't know how to process that. At least I didn't at the time, because it kept me up all night.
I definitely remember those sleepless nights, and if we weren't up at night, I know personally I was dreaming about it, and
it's terrible to think that people got away with a crime, and there's people out there that know the real story, and it's not just one person. There's several people that know, and the police aren't doing nothing about it. Now, I'm not going to place the blame on the police, because in order for them to do something about it, people have to go on the record. They have to give statements.
People have to talk.
They
Just
have to
like
talk.
For us to be able to give more of a story and to put more about Dana out there, we need people to talk to us too. And that's hard just for us, and we're not anywhere related or
in the law enforcement arena
at all.
And you have to be willing to testify, and these people are too scared to do that. And until people really want this solved and to see the right people go in front of a judge and a jury, it's not going to happen. The community has to stand up and say, enough is enough. We need this solved.
As a community.
As a community. It can't be just one person. It can't just be Ellen. It can't just be us. It can't be just her family. It has to be the whole community. Because if you ever want change, it takes more than just one person. It takes the whole village.
Definitely.
And not to get political here, but I'm going to for a moment. If you want change, you've got to put pressure on your politicians, on the mayor, on council members, police chiefs, anybody in power. You've got to put pressure on them.
Yeah. There's someone that I haven't been able to find, and I'm going to say their name because I've seen articles written about what they've done to try to help find Dana, that hopefully maybe someone who knows her is listening and can tell her, hey, these people are trying to reach you just to ask questions, because I just want to talk to them personally. Sarah Bass, who was, or still is, I don't know if they still live there, a concerned citizen who got together volunteers to go look for Dana. I've read a few articles about her, about how she wasn't related to Dana, wasn't related to anybody in the situation, but that she, as a concerned citizen, went on her own and set up searches.
Yeah.
I've looked on Facebook, I've looked everywhere, and sometimes it can be hard to find people. But she's definitely someone I think would be awesome to talk to, because here she is, she just lives there. And she wants to know, she wants to help find Dana. To me, it was really powerful that someone who didn't know her, who didn't have any relation with the situation, just wanted to help find her.
Another human wanting to help and find another human.
Yeah.
And if you're out there and you're listening to this by chance, contact us. Get in contact with us.
We have a Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, email, which is missinginmissouri@gmail.com, or our Facebooks personally.
Yep.
You are more than welcome to do that. We check our message requests section of our messenger daily, more than once a day.
I just think that it's really, really important to get people to come together if you want to have closure in this case.
I agree.
Because it's going to take everybody, and it really is. And Dana deserves it. Her family deserves it. The town deserves it. Everybody deserves this. And the people that had something to do with her disappearance, they deserve to get justice and to be judged.
I agree. I agree. And if anyone else who is listening in the Sedalia area, feel free to message us, email us, and let us know, the kind of things that you've heard about what may have happened to Dana. And maybe we can all together as a group, as a community, piece together
what happened. Because it may be that an accident did happen and people were too scared to report it, and they got nervous and they made bad decisions. It could be something like that. It could not be something like that. But we need to know. We need to know, and she deserves to be at peace.
Absolutely.
So, no detail is too small. So if you got anything, contact us.
Anything at all.
No matter how trivial you think it might be, because it may not be. I mean, the people that have talked to us, thank you so much.
You guys have been a blessing and just so helpful,
and we have seen things change,
like her missing persons poster.
The missing
oh my
persons,
gosh.
yes. But we can only do so much. Yeah, there's just no way. There's no way, because I made promises to people that we were going to do this and see it through.
I think if we don't talk about not just Dana, but anyone who is missing, then I think as a community and a society, we forget about them. And that's not what we want.
No.
If anyone has any information on the disappearance of Dana Bruce, we urge you to contact the Sedalia Police Department at 1-660-826-8100. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and you can also reach us at missinginmissouri@gmail.com. I'm Morgan.
And I'm Zach. And this is Missing in Missouri.